live on LinkedIn with this.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah, we're on LinkedIn as well.
It will affect the professional life of all of us.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden everyone will behave. Where are your ties? Yeah. This is clearly an interview. You know.
I don't think you're live. Oh no, you are.
I think we guessed the dress code pretty accurate there.
Yeah, everyone is dressed as a developer. Terribly. Yeah, so we were just talking before the stream, and Jay, you have to show them off again. The obnoxious amounts of hair things you have here.
I think it's probably one of the. I don't really go on video as well without a hat on. So
yeah,
it's an exclusive. It's an exclusive for you.
What is that? Because
well,
they definitely.
Shampoo. This is conditioner.
This is shampoo.
Yeah, this is conditioner. But it's the same brand.
I want it because it's a skull. It just feels like that'd be a nice thing beside all of the lady shampoo bottles that I have. You know, so it's like it feels like I'm taking back the fight. You know.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Do you know what? I had this bottle for ages, and I only started spraying it in recently. I was like, oh yeah, let's see what that does. It just smells nice. I don't know if it does anything.
That's most beard oils. Yeah, no, I started with the Rituals beard oil because I like all their smelly stuff. Is that the correct term? What do you call that stuff in those shops?
Smelly.
There's a technical question.
Soap.
Soap. No, like incenses and perfumes and things, but they don't come in those kind of forms.
So I don't know. I think you should ask that on Stack Overflow.
Yeah, put that on Stack Overflow, pretty much. Yeah,
well, yeah, because it's clearly a stupid question, so it's good.
Yeah. I can say the top answer is going to be go read the fucking manual.
Did you read the fucking documentation? Yeah, pretty much. I do have some. Let's see. Hold on. Oh,
we know he's wearing shoes.
What's it called?
This is home perfume.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Oh,
yeah. That's just so that you know, that's not for your beard. That's something that you use as an air freshener.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. Just a fancy name for the air freshener.
I was just going to say that's something similar. It's not the breeze.
Is that just? Is that just a version of potpourri? Like like the dried flowers in a bowl. Is that just the new version?
Yeah,
stuff around the house.
See, they're the kind of words I was looking for. You know, the real words for these smelly things.
Potpourri, like the dried up flowers that they have scented.
Yeah.
Now
you've got it in a bottle. God, you're living in modern times.
Yeah, I apologize to absolutely everyone that's listening, but it probably won't get much more constructive than this.
I've talked about bottled products all day.
We've gone from a SaaS where we sell
like hair and grooming oils to now like bottled spray.
Yeah, but that's it. I've been asked on a lot of my videos to do, and I'm thinking of doing it, a beard grooming tutorial. You know. Because that's all people watch my videos for, according to the comments anyway.
It would be of use to me. I'm going to assume it's a comb down.
It's a round brush.
Ooh,
round brush.
A round brush pulls it out straight, lads. Right.
Amateur.
Right, yeah, round brush pulls it out.
Can you groom a beard in JavaScript? That's there you go. Question.
I bet you Jay would create one on this stream, and it would be done.
I'd be center a beard,
and will look better than all our beards combined.
Yeah, I trimmed mine yesterday. Mine's had like quite a bit taken off because I'm wearing a dark shirt. It just merges in, so it goes right down.
Yeah. Tej has done first time ever I've not seen Tej in a dark t-shirt whenever you're doing these things. Usually it just looks like you have a really small face and like it's like because you wear a black t-shirt as well. And it's just like a really small face on top of it. Like wasn't it a Scary Movie or that where the guy had a really small head?
Yeah.
Super Mario Goomba.
Ted's got a really well kept beard though. Like I want to know the secret. What's he doing with that? Is he getting someone to do it or?
No, actually, I wake up and I don't wash my beard. and then it eventually just gives up and just decides to sort itself out. So that's my secret.
What? Nah, there's some special clipping going on.
So,
He
okay,
has
so
a hair
I'll be
dryer in
honest.
his bathroom. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
So I'll be honest.
strange here.
Yeah, exactly. So I use a hairdryer, I do this, and then I use a hairdryer and I do this, and that's it.
See,
But,
he was trying to get away with that. Because I went looking through his house when he wasn't there, and I found a hairdryer, and I knew then.
There's no way this is his girlfriend's. This is all over.
But to be honest, the weird thing about having a beard is that everyone assumes that a good gift for you is like a beard grooming kit and gives you that. And now I have 10 different products lying around, so I don't buy any.
And you only use one.
Yeah,
And it shows,
exactly.
It's terrible.
If you even think about using it. That's the problem. I have 4 different collections of random shit and never remember to use it.
Oh God! I just put out to the chat just in case anyone is watching as well that you can just ask questions and things, or else we will continue rambling on. So I get I know most people here. I think just before we do continue off in the deep end, do people want to introduce themselves? I do want to introduce Praveen first off as a special honourable mention for basically running my Discord for me. So that's thanks Praveen for that. It's definitely appreciated because I have to check in once a week and everyone's questions are answered. It's amazing. So
You're welcome.
Yeah, I would say keep up the good work, but it doesn't pay well. So I don't know how else to motivate you.
Aren't you like a CEO of the company who makes the decision on hiring people?
Yeah, that's true as
They're
well.
great, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to mention this part in my resume. I'm running a Discord server. I'm answering beyond 800, 900 people's daily questions, so that would be easy for me.
Yeah, I'll be a reference, and then obviously you're fast tracked. You're already through the first interview. Whenever we get you on board as well, Praveen, when we'll get people over here. We've been trying to convince Praveen to come over here. I think Tej, have you been trying to get him to come to Ireland as well? Or
No, I'll try now. Praveen, come to Ireland.
I'm on it.
There you go.
It's way better.
I'm on it. Just let me finish my legal work, and most probably I'll be there really soon.
you sound just like Tej.
Praveen, I'll talk to you after the stream about how you don't need to do the legal work.
Oh,
Maybe go and advertise that on YouTube.
maybe you don't wink on a live stream that is recorded about your legal status in a foreign country.
Now we can be your sponsor. Yeah, I tried. I talked with Tej on the same topic, and I'm pretty much trying to come to Ireland or anywhere in state, but most probably in Ireland to come for at least 6 months to hop onto there and have some good experience and enjoy all the 6 months. There's difference between having video chats and all the Discord chat, but enjoying in person. Yeah, and it's great.
I mean, just on a serious note, that I pretty much have the same experience as you do. I was in India there, and then I moved here, and I have to say, there's a huge difference, in the whole community or the developer community, and it's a little more condensed here. So you find a lot of developers just in Dublin alone, and it's a great way to network. And I was not much into into networking myself, but then I met Colin, Niall, and other people at work, and started networking from there on. It's great.
Is that what you're calling it? You're calling it networking. That's what we done.
That's the best part I have done. In the past 1 year, I have so many new connections on LinkedIn, not just dummy connection the student or someone I have a real CEOs of companies or somewhere else who are doing hiring and that kind of stuff. So I'm working on building on my net. That's the best part. And I'm sitting in front of people who can just refer me to someone else, and I can easily hop onto any company because they know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to broaden my this set of my skills also. So that's nothing. I think it takes nothing for me. Just few hours on the Discord to answer these things, which helps me to learn. That's all. What else I need? Nothing. And one thing
Colin, will you take some of this man's enthusiasm, please? Like, it would just level you off totally.
Nah, I don't think I could deal with it.
I think I'm giving some competition to Colin.
Yeah,
For sure.
excellent.
Just remember when you get here, just pick better friends than me and So maybe ones that won't try and get you deported 3 weeks into the country.
Well, we in fairness, I didn't realize he actually needed his passport to travel to Northern Ireland. I forgot.
Okay. Which part of, I need to get my passport to go to Northern Ireland did you not understand? This is literally what I was trying to convince you. Like, no, I live right across the street.
You only said it 10 times. Like, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say
Yeah,
that.
literally, like that. I also know that North Highland and like the main islands are two separate like lands. I also know it. You didn't know that?
Well, depends on how big of an Irish you are,
Yeah.
Because to a lot of them, it's the same thing, and you shouldn't really say that it's not.
So,
and that's the card you should play on the border than to say, oh, what? It's a different country? Never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
That could go very either way as well.
Yeah.
If you get like a very pro-split country person, like police officer stopping you, and then you go, it's all one country. Like,
yeah.
Well, I'm not opening up that can of worms. I'll talk about home perfume all day. But not that. That's good to bring us down a very ropey road.
Yes.
So I kind of have
those 10
those
minutes
conversations. I've got my cert of naturalization, so I'm switching from one EU country citizenship to this country citizenship. So we kind of start, talking about, one country united and all that stuff.
Sure.
by choice.
I'm glad it's by choice and you're not being forced to change citizenship.
Yeah.
No, there's no real need, but I'm like 18 years here, so I suppose it's time.
You've just accepted it. We've won. We like the typical Irish way.
Yeah.
It's not raw power. It's just waiting and slowly wearing you down.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it will play out.
So, what is Jay just announced his new Discord today as well?
I didn't really announce. I just sort of snuck it in a subtweet.
You tweeted it, and Praveen told me. So that was an announcement in my book.
You're fired.
Oh no!
That was a very
You're fired. You're fired from the unpaid job.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're not allowed to run his Discord.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really put anything. I just thought if I just hit create, then that's a starting point. So
and see what happens.
Yeah. So it's just because I kind of want to do like a whole rebrand, like refresh thing at some point this year. And Discord's one I get asked for all the time, and I just go, just go to Niall's one. But then, yeah.
Believe me or not, Jay, like really, I told Niall just before the stream was starting, like my friends are like asking me like where to talk to Jay. I said go to his Twitter or just come to like Codú Community. Like they always ask me like can you like send me a Discord link of Jay's? Like, no, I can't. Like he doesn't even have.
I'm hiding in the depths of people's Discords. Just
like literally, like people are jumping into like Codú Community just to like see what you are doing behind the scenes, like creating things that you're not sharing on like Twitter or like unready mockups or such kind of stuff. So that's I think like one thing I really like see like a lot of people ask me.
Yeah, I think to be fair, like you, Niall, and like maybe a couple of other people are the only people that get to see what I do before it comes out, because I just don't tell anyone. So it's normally you, like it's like a handful of people. So yeah, it's kind of for that, I guess, as well. But yeah, that's Yeah, it's kind of a good idea, but then it's one of them. It's like I have no idea where to start. Like I just don't even know what people do with them. Just like it's crazy integrations and things. I don't know. Like Niall's one, it's probably like the Codú one's probably taken a lot of work to get to where it is now.
No, I copied and pasted from another Discord.
Yeah, actually, that sounds right.
Automation. I mean,
Like I think that now you have like templates for creating Discord servers.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so. Like you. Let me just.
Well, Praveen was obviously going to sort that out for you now, Jay. So you don't have to worry about it. So it's grand.
Sweet.
It's solved. What's everyone working on at the moment, or what are they hoping to be working on? Is there anyone
building a power app?
A what app?
A power app.
A power app.
Yeah, it's a low code to no code Microsoft Power Platform application.
I haven't come across that.
To start with.
It's not usually it wouldn't be scalable to a huge application. I would use it for small to medium-sized projects, but it's quite nice. It's very easy to build. You can literally get a crowd application within a minute from some simple data source, such as SharePoint, for example. So for small teams and for small applications, it's brilliant. It has some. It doesn't have CSS, unfortunately, so you have to be creative.
How are you creative? How are you creative without CSS? Like what?
You basically you create a styling screen.
Have you ever seen The Matrix? That's what you think.
So you create a styling screen and you point all your components to the components of that styling screen. So if you need to change anything there later in styling, you change that in that styling screen. So that applies then to everything else. It's very inefficient, I would say, but it's better than to go through all the components later and change everything manually.
I'm just having a look here as well.
Does it have anything to do with Power Toys? I've used Power Toys. I mean, I use Power Toys for a couple of things, like for like dividing your screen and the fancy zones and color picker and all that within Power Toys. But I don't know if Power Apps has anything to do with that.
I don't know. Maybe, but that's the one you're looking at, the right one.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's quite easy, really.
And are you using this for work, or is it just a project that you're playing with?
For work. I've created quite a big application there. I was surprised to see that there is a limit to the number of columns you can have in SharePoint, because the project started with we'll just need a few fields to put in a few numbers, and now we're at the end of the column with column numbers you can have in SharePoint, which was a bit surprising. So. Any new features that they will ask for will probably have to go along with the new data source.
I would love to see an actual case study on like building a production application with low code, because it's something that pops up all the time. Is like, what can you do with low code? I think a lot of people just don't use low code because they're like, when am I going to hit the ceiling? And then that's just, I won't touch it. I was on a call like an hour ago and somebody was like, hey, I'm not technical, could I start using this thing? And I was just genuinely like, I don't know, because I've never tried to. So
definitely they could use Power App, I'd say. They wouldn't be able to make it, to build some of the functionality for it, such as, validation, the custom validation and stuff. But for something very simple, to create a form that will accept some stuff, and change it in the data source, then definitely, there's something that is possible to do with. It will create a gallery that you can search and find items from the data source, and then edit those items or delete those items. So it allows a good few things. But then the custom stuff that you build is there's some user access. Then you play around with visibility property of components based on the user access. So it's not a usual traditional developing of the applications kind of way, but it still allows you to be creative around those limitations. No CSS though, just to underline.
Outrageous. You couldn't make games out of that, Jay.
I'll find a way. I always find a way. What was I going to say? Have you had much experience with like the no code or low code stuff? Because I keep getting not constantly, but I've had a few requests about like Webflow and stuff, and even some of the opportunities that have come up. People have approached me about have been like, hey, like we want to do stuff, but we're doing stuff in Webflow. But I think there's quite it's not completely restricted, because I see people like using GreenSock and doing loads of like scroll animations and things in Webflow. Yep. So I imagine there is like a way to unlock it all, but I didn't know if anyone had actually used it. Like I've never even opened it. So
I've used, and the only reason I'd say something similar is I've used it something like Shopify, where you'd be able to hack the templates and put in your own tags, and you can do basically whatever, because let's say for Shopify, they use their own liquid templates, I think it's called. It's basically like Mustache, and it's very easy to get your head around. You know, they just have files nearly like PHP that connect up, and I think all these kind of services have something similar where you can kind of go in, add some HTML, CSS, whatever you need to do, just insert it as a block. Yeah.
I just I didn't know if anyone had played with it, because I think like you say, as long as you can insert a script block, even if you like bundle it somewhere else and then just point to it, it's going to work. So
yeah, once you know what tag you're attaching to, you can literally do anything. That's the good part. Anyone else working on something fun? Has to be.
I'm working on. Sorry, Colin. Were you going to say something?
No, Kieran, you got there first. You're going ahead. That's
okay.
Yours is probably more interesting anyway. So.
It's really not. I work on the front end for an incident detection and response product. That's it.
Don't oversell it. Don't oversell
it. I'm trying not to. I don't want anyone to come work with me.
Specifically you, Colin. Specifically you.
I work for a security company called Rapid7, and we do kind of everything from vulnerability management to incident detection and response. And each office kind of looks after a different product. And so our office is the incident detection and response. And the platform that I work on is a log ingestion platform that you will install our agent on all your machines. And what we will do is anytime any logs are generated on your machines, we'll ingest them into our platform. What that'll then do is it will sort the logs, add a key value sorting if it can, if it has the ability to do that, if it's JSON logging or anything like that. Then we merge it all together. We use something kind of similar to a Bloom filter that allows you to search through massive amounts of ingested data with our own query language that we created. So I work on stuff like that. So I work on the UI side of that stuff. And so it's mainly React, but it's quite a big architecture, and so it can get quite muddy. And so 9 to 5, I'm just either working on new features for that product, and they're usually very, I want to say like visualization driven. Like we do a lot of data visualization stuff as well.
Dashboards and stuff, is it?
Yeah, we do a lot of dashboards. Like our biggest competitor, I suppose, kind of the similar company in the market would be Splunk, if anyone's used their stuff. So kind of very similar to Datadog, which is, just kind of heavy metric driven stuff. But we do that with a kind of assortment of other features as well. So that's what I'm working on.
Nice. And are On that, then, are you doing anything on the side with that as well, or do you just like when you get home, you're just playing all the guitars behind you?
So it very much depends. I'm one of these people that when like I get home, if the next thing I see is code, I'm going to throw up. And so sometimes I get back into the mood for working on side projects and stuff like that. My brother Connor would be the Niall, you know him. He would be the big guy into doing personal side projects, and so I've offered some help here and there on the front end stuff because he's more back end focused. But I'm not really driving anything personally at the moment, which I probably should, just to kind of start getting into it again from a personal perspective, because I'm so in what I'm doing right now that you start to kind of lose base and lose touch with some of the other technologies that might be emerging around you. Yeah. If you're not using them directly in work.
Yeah, and there's always that fear. I guess that's the only thing that drives me on is working on side things, because especially now, I'm supposed to not code very much anymore. I still code all the time, obviously, but like I'm not meant to code. But like that, it drives the fear into me all the more now to be like, I have to code every spare moment I have, or else I'll forget everything I know, kind of thing. So
yeah, for sure.
Driven it in deeper than. But in the query thing, so does that, like when you're building a query language, is there, like, how do you go about that? I've never even thought about building a query.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the time nowadays you don't start from scratch. There's language building languages out there. One of the big ones that are kind of famous and is, I suppose, the most easy to get into is Antler. So Antler is a really good language for building out either query languages or just your own language in general. It allows you to create like a lexicon and then a parser for that. So it's very interesting. I think the definitive guide for Antler, I think the 4th version is actually free on GitHub. I can't remember. It might be dodgy.
It might be dodgy.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You're presenting to stakeholders. Well,
but yeah, it's one of those things that you never really get into until you have to, and it's always that's it there. It's always one of those ideas that I think just seems too far out of reach for everyone, is like the idea of building your own language or the idea of building your OS, until you realize there's hundreds of tools out there that actually help you do it nowadays.
Yeah, I guess that's always the weird part. You just think, how do I do that? And then, oh yeah, there's a library. Somebody did it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's the danger of libraries.
So we created a log entries query language based on Antler.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
Did Tej drop off? Did his computer die? We slag him way too much over that computer dying of his.
His internet went.
His 3090 would like crashed.
Always the 3090. It's just like, it's just a re-stick of like 750 Ti or something from like.
He waited 4 months to get that computer, I think.
Yeah, since last December, I think December of 2020.
Yeah. Colin, what did you say you're working on?
No, nothing much. I was working on a little Chrome extension there the other day, just for like a night mode switch as a Chrome extension. So
so to style things, were you doing it for any app in particular, or was it just like to see how the CSS kind of goes global?
Yeah, no, it was just to play with it, to be honest. I'd done some Chrome extensions before. Like they're simple enough. Google have some really good APIs and stuff for it, so you can do a lot with them very easily. And so, yeah, I don't know, it's just something to play around with, and kind of, so, it's right now it's very simple, because it's just, you click the button and you change the background color to black and the color to white. That works for 80% of most websites.
Yeah, you've added a feature to everywhere, because I've seen some interesting things on that, because like, I'm guessing that's how you did your one, Jay, as well, for your product of the Twitter one. where you're just hiding the stream. Is that just like CSS that hides an element, or?
Yeah. So I have some tricks to mine. I can obviously dig into that if you want, but like basically, speaking of just going on like Chrome, and so they're really simple to make and the API is really good. And then when you want to switch to like Firefox, it's really good as well. But there's like some weird quirks where, and I think there's probably a package out there that will do it better. But when you want to do Firefox debugging, like you have to do some weird, like, I can't remember what it is. You basically like set up like a user ID, like a fake one, so you can use it locally to test it without having to like deploy it, which was just a weird quirk that I come across. But yeah, mine works in a way that it's just a form, and then it sets like CSS variables on the elements in the page, and then I have some styling which I put underneath that kind of like, so like a 1 will show something, whereas a 0 will like knock it off. But there are just, when you start digging into something like Twitter's HTML, it's like, it's horrible, because if you've ever inspected it, it's like, it's so many I think it's style components, but it's just like loads and loads and loads of nested divs that are all like positioned and things. And to actually get some of it to work, like I had to use like a mutation observer that checks when the page hydrates and then when it changes, and then to like then set. So what I'm doing is like I'm actually setting, I'm pinning attributes onto certain elements. And then, but I need to wait for it to actually load, because what happens is when Twitter loads, then it will rehydrate and it will wipe out your changes. So you need to like wait for the hydration to finish and then put it in. It's a bit hacky.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like, let's just say
it's
element
not,
hidden, done.
Yeah, it's not a simple case of just like putting some paint over the top. Like it really doesn't work like that. Like you have to do some weird stuff with it.
I wonder if you could do stuff with like maybe a grease monkey or a tamper monkey script with it. That might be able to hide that stuff.
Yeah, it's like I wanted like little transitions as well. So like when you hide the sidebars, like they animate out, but what I do is I just animate a clip path, so it just slides.
Lovely.
But yeah, just some things are really weird with it. Like it's okay most of the time, but then yeah, the reason I use variables is so. There are some things in the Twitter UI that you can grab. So fortunately, they leave all their test attributes in the markup. So they have like, it will be like data test ID equals like message box or something weird like that, or like data tweet, something like sidebar. So you can actually grab the pieces. But yeah, I do things like I pin padding on, so you can like move a slider and then you can add margins between all the tweets you're viewing. So like basically my UI when I use Twitter is like there's pretty much nothing. It's just the main feed, just really spaced out, so I can just scroll through it. I don't see anything on the sides or anything like that. No message box or anything, because too many distractions.
That's cool.
It's probably half the reason I don't get back to people as well. So.
Don't see it. It's just like,
I just can't.
Made this extension. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, I see it like, I see it pop on the iPad. If I hover over the sidebar, the left one, I'll see stuff. But yeah, I have it all hidden. But yeah, like it's quite funny. The last time I did something for it was to hide the message box. I accidentally like put something in there that just completely broke everything. And then I was like, wow, my Twitter is really broke. Like, I do not know what's going on.
Have you got that? Have you got the code for that posted anywhere?
Yeah. So it's a GitHub repo.
Yeah, definitely. I'd really like to see that, because I've never done anything with Chrome extensions, and that.
I don't know if we're going to be able to put it into the chat, Jay. So send it to me there on Discord.
Yeah, or even post it in the announcements page or something.
Yeah, I mean, the code. There isn't a lot of code to it. It's actually it's pretty good in that sense. I'm just good. Yeah, there isn't a lot to it, but there's some weird quirks. Like I said, when you want to switch to doing like Firefox, you can see in the source. Like I have like 3 manifest files. So I have like manifest.firefox, manifest.firefox.dev, and then manifest.chrome. And then I just manually swap them because I just didn't get around to actually creating like a nice version for each. Or like an automated way. Like realistically, I should be using something that does it for me. But yeah, it works good enough. But yeah, I even have an issue that I put that was like explore alternative communication observer, because there must be a better way of doing it. But yeah, I just wanted it to work, and I wanted to get on with my life. So just one of them.
On a side note, Tej is back with his 750 Ti, as we were saying. It's like, that's all we were slagging white on Tej. You didn't miss much, just us saying,
That's fair. I don't know if somehow my graphic card has started interfering with my modem as well now. So my internet went as well. So
were you on the phone to tech support?
I was.
That's why Praveen disappeared as well.
So switching it off and on again.
Praveen's gone to solve it, yeah.
Where did that graphics card come from? There's probably some spyware inside it, wasn't it?
That's a real Huawei thing, isn't it?
Does it hit turbo when you go on your banking website?
I just checked like about 2 minutes ago, and this stream has already been demonetized that quickly. So I think that went. I don't even know what we did. It wasn't even that bad yet. So I guess we'll just keep on pumping it up.
Probably all the unsolicited advertisement we were doing for members.
You know what really gets me through? Yeah, but like, yeah, just because that's always the way. It's like, you know what gets me through today? Galway Bay Brewery.
It was either that, or they must have like some kind of audio, like I don't know what the word is. It's Friday, but they must be listening out, because we did mention Gentleman's Tonic a bit too much at the start.
Actually, they have like surveys. I think I work with an AWS service for like the voice recognition rates. So they're doing that in real time, but not in that. Like there is a lag between the live stream and that, because I made a bot, like a moderation bot, kind of like if anyone said something that the YouTube algorithm is like letting the user to say, but we want to stop, like some other words like howdy or some other stuff. So we can like go on there and just put a message in the chat saying like, don't do that, like don't use these words. So I played with and like you, that would be that magic.
Yeah, nice. We'll get a police bear then going in with that. We'll automate a police bear whenever anyone swears on your streams.
Yeah, I got so many ideas for that. I just need a job.
That sounds like a mid conversation mental breakdown. Just need a job.
Yeah. And I want to do them. Like I want to spend time on them, but at the same time, it's like, come on, Jay, you need a job. You've had enough fun. You've been playing. Like, yeah. Unless it's going to make you some money, shelf it for now.
I mean, maybe Twitter will hire you. Go to them. Hey, look what I did with your site.
Hey, I really hated your design. Good job.
I've got some really good ideas I think you'll like.
I'll support you, Jay. If you go to Twitter and say like, I hated your design, I'll be the one supporting you in this.
Honestly, when I switch that extension off, it pains me to see what it actually looks like by default. Like you forget how wild that design is. Like someone actually designed that and got away with it. It's just lines everywhere. It's so weird. I do find it really strange.
Man,
it's
I'm
maybe like one of the most used like websites probably on the internet, right? And it just, the design is so like jarring. I don't know.
Why do you think everyone's so angry all the time on it?
Yeah,
it's because of that. It's just the noise on it. That's why you're just like, I am automatically angry at this. And I just happen to see a comment that is mildly annoying. Yeah, exactly. You see one comment that is mildly annoying, and you have that design, and then all of a sudden, triggered, done.
Oh my goodness.
It's doing a little bit for my sanity then, because if I didn't have it, who knows what would be going on.
We're going to discuss ESL. What are we talking about?
Super League.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I love the way. That's it. This is a sports reference. I was never going to get it.
Paul's not here though. Paul's not here to talk about it. I mean,
Yeah, this is a different Paul. This is Irish Paul.
Yeah, I mean, what a load of hot air that was.
Yeah, not much happened.
I mean,
it was a spectacular 48 hours. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, my 2 cents as an Arsenal fan would be that was the most embarrassing attempt to try and make us look good again by Stanford.
So can someone explain to me what this Super League was? Because I'm a rugby fan. I have no idea about soccer.
I don't think anyone knows still.
All I remember is every team just publicly announced no.
Well,
yeah, because there was 12 teams that decided to go.
Does anyone know? Because I watched I keep up with it quite a bit, but I still don't really understand what they were aiming for. So there seemed to be 2 takes on it. One was that it's like another Champions League, but just with 20 teams and that's it. But then people were going on about oh, well, no one can ever get relegated or promoted. So then that makes it seem like, oh, it's actually a full-on league that's just side by side, and these teams were going to get booted out of the Premier League and stuff. But I don't know.
They were.
I'm guessing this is the league that everyone was talking about.
Yeah, makes.
They were designing it to replace the Champions League. They were going to do this instead.
God.
And then the 15 founding clubs were had no risk of relegation ever. They were always going to be in it, and then the other 5 were going to earn the right to play in it every year.
Did we go off on the wrong tangent, Niall?
No,
you just got a link to ESL gaming, and I'm
it looked way more interesting than your football conversation. So I was
just start talking about the European Super League for an hour.
Here's an ESL that I understand because there's games in it.
Oh God, what is this?
No, it is. So basically they just wanted a new league because some people weren't in a league, or they just thought they could make a better league. What was it?
They wanted to minimize the risk of them not getting in, because half of them are not regularly qualifying for the Champions League as it is. So they wanted to make sure that they get in every year. And they wanted, because they were running it instead of UEFA, they were going to keep all the money. So they were going to basically get about 300 million just for playing every year, just for showing up.
300
and then,
that's a good business plan.
And then not have any risk that they wouldn't be in it again next year. So it's guaranteed 300 million every year.
Yeah.
So am I missing maybe it was executed terribly, but is the UEFA not really corrupt?
Yes.
Is it not a good idea to have a competing league at this stage, or is it just that they managed to do it in such a terrible fashion that it wasn't even a nearly acceptable thing?
Yeah,
well, it's very driven by
both.
It is actually the fact that it was not competing really, right? Because what are the consequences if you lose? Nothing. You get paid. You don't get relegated. So if you lose, you lose. It's not a big deal. So it takes the sport out of the sport, right? Yeah, it takes the sport out of the sport, right? Just makes it a more capitalistic thing that everyone watches it, but there's no real, sport in it.
It still seems
as opposed to UEFA making money.
Yeah,
this is my simplistic view on it.
I don't know. It still feels a bit weird to me because it's obviously it's been driven by all the chairman and stuff, the people in the board that see football more as a business, but then at the same time it's you can't tell me none of the players or anyone knew anything about it. Everyone just making out it came out of the blue and no one knew anything about it. It's kind of weird. I know. I thought they made a really good point on Sky though. They basically made the point. Well, Jamie Carragher made the point that it kind of happened when Sky basically bought the Premier League way back when, on a kind of lower scale. But it's a very similar kind of idea. But yeah, it's all money, isn't it? People were up in arms when BT brought the Champions League and the Europa League, or however that works, and everyone seems to have forgotten about that now. Everyone just deals with it. So.
I think the biggest part is just that You know, you're removing the competitive part. Like these people
can't
are
everyone
always
just
going
have
to
a
be
good
there.
time? Is that not the point? Is that not why you play games? Is everyone has to have a good time?
It's all about winning, not about the fun, Niall.
So they wanted to have a participation prize, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to wake up now. Get out of dreamland.
Yeah.
Those fat stacks.
But everyone gets the fat stacks. I don't see the problem. Right? We're all rich.
No, so again, there are other teams out there, who were not allowed to participate because they decided, these are these 15 elite teams who will be allowed to participate, and then a lot of the other clubs miss out on that, right? So what about those?
But they're not in the club. It's called a club for a reason, okay? Get out. You're not allowed to money.
I see why you don't watch sport. It's okay, I get it.
But how were those teams selected to be in one of those 15?
Because they're the richest and they decided.
Yeah.
So
isn't that how the world works? I just can't understand what is the problem with all this. This sounds like a fantastic idea made up by the elite. And unfortunately, for some reason, people don't like it.
Why don't the other teams just get more money?
Yeah.
Simple. Makes sense.
Just win Euro Millions and that's it.
That's so clever.
It's so
Silly.
easy.
Someone should just let them know. Is anyone on Twitter there now? Just you should just get more money.
Yeah.
Somebody tagged them.
Yeah.
You see that we had a conversation and we agreed.
Yeah. In a very intellectual conversation, and we just know we cracked it. We know what's wrong. You just need more money. You just get more money and it's solved.
Here's a
now
dog.
we have a dog on the street.
Nice.
A wild dog as well. I don't know whether that's a snake or a dog.
Identifies itself as a fish out of water.
It's my dog. He's so excited that his mammy's home.
Now I understand why Larry's not on the screen.
Any mention of the European Super League?
Oh my god! Sorry about that.
Not at all. That's genuinely looked like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Colin's turn for his nice new computer to crash as well. Look at this, lads. The two of you got. So Colin and Tej both got a computer from the same place, right?
Same.
And they both spent way too much money on them.
And the
We won't get
company
into that.
and the company is run by Praveen, but they don't know.
Money that could have been used for the teams to get into the club.
That's all,
Yeah,
all
that's
the-
fair. That's a very
I
good
don't
point.
understand like how like 3090s are falling out. Like I'm running on a like 3-year-old laptop with i5 and 8 GB RAM and like 2 GB graphics card. Like everything's running smooth. I don't know
I don't even
why.
have a graphics card on this machine.
I thought the ESL were clamping down on the stream and just starting to kick us off. They'd already hacked our network and take us off.
Yeah.
Because we're exposing the truth. All you need is more money and it's all.
Like we are giving advice to the teams like how simple it is to get into the league.
Yeah, but Tej is literally proof that more money, more problems.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah, like
I did not have a PC, so it never crashed. Now I have a PC.
There you go.
It crashes all the time.
Yeah. There you go. I'd like a Lamborghini to crash. If we're thinking it that way. To be fair.
like if you guys are having problem with the money, like you can send it to me. I'll keep it.
No. We're looking for money. Okay.
I don't think you understand how this ESL works. We've cracked it.
Yeah, maybe it's just that Tej is, somewhere in the middle there where he's gotten more money, but he just doesn't have enough money to solve the problems. So you should just get more money.
I'm at 299
Yeah,
million.
exactly.
See another million.
Correct.
Colin nailed it.
If only you had a little bit more.
Yeah, so
Whatever
every time
you
your
do to
computer
get-
crashes, you just go get a new one.
Yeah.
Whatever you did to get the money you have now, do that again.
Work 25 hours a day, more.
How long do you work? How long do you work each day? 14 hours. Double it. Double it.
Double it, and then you double your money every day. It's simple maths.
Economics, bro.
I wonder if I can put into my time submission thing more than 24 hours. I wonder if they have that validation. I don't know.
Well, is it based on days or weeks?
It's in days.
Okay,
so it's 7 days. But I need to check.
Yeah, but a lot of those timesheet portals only have front end validation as well. So you just get Postman and send it. That'll fix that. You'll just suddenly have like, I worked 100 hours today.
That's a 100-hour day. One of those days,
Yeah. So the front-end part, validation part, like I remember just like there is a company which is like currently like running a COVID test through online. Like you can order a COVID test, so they will come and take all the samples and all. So what they did, they just managed the payment validation for the amount in the front end. So what a developer from like he's working, I think in Amazon, he just sent a card request from like changing from like 1,400 rupees to like 1 rupees, and the order went successful. And in the system, it's showing like the full amount has been paid. So these like I think like I always like say forget about the server-side validation, but these small things I like they are like happening on the large scales also. So I think that's normal thing like what every developer do.
Well, that just reminds me of Colin ordering mushrooms for €199.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was ordering pizza from a place just down the road here, and I tried to put mushrooms on the pizza, and because you ordered your base pizza and then you could add extras or whatever, and it had a little price beside it, and each one was like €1.90, except for mushrooms, where they had forgot to put in the decimal point. So it was €190 for mushrooms. I didn't realize that until I got to checkout and was like, wait.
Hold up.
Why is this €200?
How many pizzas am I ordering?
Man, that wasn't a mistake. That was some big brain.
That's a business plan.
Right there.
That is the best truffle of all the land. That is
I'm sure those are the prices somewhere in Bosbridge or Howth, in those areas.
For sure, man, for sure.
Those guys just don't know whether they paid 190 or 190.
Taking out a mortgage just to get a coffee.
Yeah. Like maybe that's the after hours. They do that like after midnight in the pizza shops. Just be like, whoever's ordering a pizza at this time probably is drunk and they won't notice.
If they're asking for something
Rob them blind.
just being
Rob them
awkward.
blind.
It was literally this week. I actually was writing. I published a blog about server-side validation, and I was actually, wondering, what is a good example to give. I did not come up with a great example, but I think I could have used one of these examples. We should have had this stream last week.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry about that.
The amazing thing you can do with articles is update them.
Ooh. Eureka.
Boom.
To be fair, I'm not going to go back and update an example like, no. So I went on the stream and I had a great example. So I was going to update. No, that's too much effort.
And we want credits in the bottom. Tag us all.
That's
as well.
Links to our GitHub. The whole lot.
And I'm putting that on my CV.
And donate. Yeah, buy us a coffee. And then that's it. We're all even then. That's all
and then we go to ESL.
Yeah.
Hashtag ESL. That just makes money now.
Support the European Super League.
I feel like I'm about to update the name of the title of this of devs discussing ESL.
Not sponsored. Hoping
not sponsored by the greatest beer ever, Galway Bay.
I love Paul's comment there. Just stop being poor. That's it.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Oh God. Like I knew it was going to be a terrible idea to bring on just people in general and just see what would happen. But yeah, it's actually I'm surprised it hasn't gotten worse. So I take that as a challenge, nearly. How can we get worse at this stage?
Well, I'm still on the clock technically in work, so.
Aren't we all?
Thank God it's not a live stream on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm building the power up as we speak.
Trying to keep swearing to a minimal.
Actually, let me show like how we are scammed in here. Like, so I bought this like GTA CD, okay, for games, and you see this is what I got inside.
Oh my god.
Marine heavy gunner Vietnam.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Enjoy it.
I hope it's good, man.
I don't know how many of you, but I still have a Windows 7 CD with me. Like, so if whenever I'm not.
Sell that to a museum, man.
I was doing the hour of code today with the kids in school, and some of them were on Windows 7 PCs. Unfortunately, teams were running slow on it. But the connection wasn't great as well. So
they need to make more money. Get Windows 10.
Yeah, they need to take some from ESL. I mean,
I just updated the title now. Dev's discussing the ESL, kind of, and not sponsored. Just so.
Hashtag not sponsored, right?
The average salary of those clubs they're not getting in that league. I mean, we're talking probably like 50 grand a week or something.
But how much they're being paid?
Yeah, because those football players are getting paid some insane amounts.
You know, the difference between what football players and rugby players are paid is staggering. It's absolutely staggering. So the highest paid rugby player in the world is Maro Itoje, who plays lock for England, and he earns $1 million a year.
Start playing football. Like, what's wrong with you?
He's 6
He
foot
should
5.
go to the ESL.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've solved this.
More money.
Set one up for rugby too.
He's 6 foot 5 and looks like a tree. Okay, he's not going to get into any football team.
I am.
He can be a goalkeeper.
So, Kiran, here's the question: how many hours in a day does he play?
See, that's the problem. He only plays 12.
Yeah, that's
He needs
not,
to
that's not
double
okay.
it, man.
Triple it. Triple is not enough.
Triple it.
Those are rookie numbers.
Tej, I don't know if there is like the IPL situation is. I don't know what is the IPL situation there, but the IPL players are getting a lot of money.
Yes.
So I'm waiting for Praveen to finish. I interrupted him, so sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like in India there is a cricket league called IPL. Players are given like a heck lot of money. Like in Indian currency, it's a lot, like in crores. So if you say like millions, so like tens of millions. So like they are getting a lot of money, and even the players are coming from like all over the world, like all the different countries they have come to create like the dream teams kind of, you see.
Yeah.
And they are getting like a hell lot of money out of it. Like the only advertisement part is so much money making, and there is a whole new booming industry of like fantasy gaming in here for that. So I don't know if you like can bet in the Europe on games, but there are like new betting platforms like getting generated like every day. Like here is a new day. Like if you go like Dream 11 is a betting platform, you can like win like crores, like tens of millions in a day. So these like money making stuff using games is going like in a lot different way. So like people are, I don't know, it's scam or something else, but they are literally getting like crores and crores of money like by just betting on these games on this platform. Literally they are making like they come on like advertisement, like I won like 4 crore rupees by just making my dream team on like on this betting game. So like prediction apps are there, like so they are making
really
a lot of money.
That is super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It also
there's a
sounds like
company
they're just
called,
going to fix it.
I don't know if they want to test or not, but there is a whole startup unicorn called Dream 11, who's like built on top of this idea, like a unicorn company, just built on top of this idea, like letting users to bet and all the like money, like from the advertisement, all this stuff. Like this is insane amount of like money that they're playing, and this in the like the white market. If you go in the black market, you know what I'm saying, like the niche part, like the hidden apps. There is way more of money that's going in there. So
That's more.
the money making in sports is like we only like are surfing the web. Then there is a deep web there. Which we
need to get more of them here, especially when the ESL kicks off. You know,
Exactly.
We need to get kickbacks.
We can do it. We can set it up.
Yeah. There you go. Easy. I think we've earned the respect for it.
Absolutely. We've got the right mentality. Working 36 hours a day.
Yeah. By the way, I checked. Unfortunately, it doesn't go over 24.
Boo.
Run your numbers again.
That's
Run your
a
numbers
broken
again.
system.
Yeah, that's bro.
How can I run at 110% if it doesn't allow me to do that?
Just open a ticket in a system like this is a
They'll ask for a screenshot and then they'll ask to clear cache and cookies. I know them.
Everyone say hi, Milo.
We've got a dog on stream.
That dog is horrible.
Hello, who's that? Hello.
Well, he's not going to be a programmer anyway. He is just not interested in the screen at all.
You never know. Machine learning might learn dog language.
He's more of a dreamer than an innovator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's the Steve Jobs of the operation.
Exactly.
He's there coming in, barking at Kieran. Yeah, going in saying, bark. Is that what Dark
Comes in
dogs
with
say?
like a turtleneck and sandals and just tears the head off me.
So
he's got a bow tie.
He can help
as well.
us market the new ESL, so that's what you're saying.
He's a master of design.
Francesco is complimenting Jay's haircut as well. By the way, I had that up a minute ago, but still.
Yeah, and sending €2 for the hair product.
Guys, I gotta head off.
All right, no worries. Good luck.
All right, guys,
Have a
take
good
it
night.
easy. Good talking to you.
Shift, I suppose.
Bye.
Bye.
Jay, I think you should start a modeling career now.
Huh?
You should start a modeling career.
Yeah, you should
Modeling
do
career.
that Instagram thing with hair and hair products.
Can I say?
Carolina was happy seeing the dog on stream anyway.
That may have been related to the hair.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was the hair.
Come on,
it was
man.
the hair. Clarify, Carolina, or else there's going to be serious trouble when I get out to the kitchen.
and that's if it wasn't about the hair.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, I wouldn't risk doing my own hair at this stage. I've just too much of it. I think I just
shave it all off.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wow.
There you go.
Wow.
You look like Tolstoy.
Lord Farquhar.
I couldn't hear you because I had no headphones.
I just thought, like
That you didn't have to
you just need a.
to write a book on War and Peace.
I don't know. Did Lord
Oh yeah, that's
Farquhar
all.
wear a little hat?
Just write War and Peace.
Yeah, you need Lord Farquaad's hat, and then you're set.
Yeah, actually, just a good idea.
Wow. Yeah.
Straight out of Shrek.
Is there a beard battle going on here?
Accurate.
Uh,
Well, Praveen is losing, so
yeah.
I'm not even in the game.
Praveen isn't old enough to get his beard license yet.
Oh my god.
you should get to apply. It can take a while to come true.
Day one.
Yeah, that's all from that. It's all from that tonic for men that Jay isn't sponsoring this video.
just going to take a photo like this and just put product placement in it. Isn't that that's kind of what Niall's thumbnail is anyway on some of his YouTube?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Just put products
That's
in
it.
it.
Console.log.
Yeah, and then if I feel like I need a different thumbnail, I reverse it. And it's like a whole new image.
I'm waiting for the upside down one.
Next. Yeah, knowing me, I would actually do a handstand to try and do it. I'm like, how do I do this? I need to pin myself to the roof. How else could I make an upside down image?
Just do the cobra pose, you know, like when you cobra pose, you just bend all the way up, leaning towards the roof,
It's just
bending like this.
Let's just rotate 180 degrees, transform now.
With some modern CSS right there.
Yeah, that's too modern for us, right? Like Transform is only out like, is that a week or two?
Probably. I mean, I heard about it today, so I don't.
But this is what happens when you vent in public, Jay. You see,
No,
I kind of like it.
I kind of like it. It's the new way. It's the new way. I'm just gonna say whatever I think now on Twitter instead of just.
Oh, I'd be in jail so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone's agreeing. Like, if only we could project our thoughts. Oh no! Oh
What
no!
have you got to lose? What have you got to lose?
Only
Also,
That's
Jay,
a great
I think
idea. Right.
Jay
up
is
until
going to
the
start
first
his
tweet.
streams. Sorry, continue, please.
What do you say, Colin?
I said like that's sharing all your thoughts and all. It's a great idea right up until the very first tweet, and then it's not.
unless you have no
But
followers.
do you-
Then it's,
Yeah, they're
That's just
only.
entirely.
Like, let's be fair. It's not your abusive comments that people dislike. It's the Twitter design. We discussed this. It's the only reason that they're annoyed at all.
That's your response when it's like, how could you say such a thing? Well, if I said it on Facebook, it would have been fine.
So when they gave the brief to the designer, they were just like, "Hey, look, we just want a design that is subtle enough, but just triggers people to hate each other."
Just a little push.
say no more. Hold my beer.
What could be slightly more offensive than the content on Twitter? The design. Yeah, we can do that.
And then come the people who took a screenshot of their Twitter tweets and posted on Instagram.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Everywhere else.
Yeah.
Already.
I
It's
just
real
hate them.
content. It's real content. Okay.
I mean, I feel dirty using my RSS feed to post my posts everywhere, but screenshotting a tweet and putting it on Instagram, that's
Nice.
I think somebody was discussing this on Twitter, maybe yesterday or the day before that. People who post screenshots of code and not the actual code snippet. Yeah.
Now there's another level to it. There are people who are taking a picture of the part of the screen where the part of the code is, and then they post that to ask what's wrong with it.
Well, excuse me, we get that in the Discord all the time where somebody will take a picture of their actual laptop and go, "What's wrong here?"
And in most cases, Praveen solves that. So.
Somehow Praveen still answers.
Yeah.
Praveen,
let me show you something. Just a minute. So,
I was
I'm
hoping
sharing
Praveen's
screen.
written.
I'm gonna post a
inspiration
screenshot
for
of your
this.
laptop. I mean, your picture.
Oh my god.
See,
I don't think
just
you're allowed
want this
pictures like this on the
screenshot.
internet. Whoa.
No.
Exactly.
This is what
Why,
this
why am I getting this error?
This is perfect.
Yeah, fix this.
So yeah, I'm working on a project of a recruitment portal that I talked to, showed you. I have already told you about it. But so I asked one of my friends to install it locally, and he says I'm having this error. What error? He just to get this image. What the? How would want?
What else do you want? There's no user found, Praveen. Fix it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have the user. That's a simple solution.
I'm sure a few of us in here have had the joy of working in some of these big corporate places where like the stakeholders be like, oh yeah, we'll test it out, and they like just sit there in a suit taking photos of the screen, and then like that goes in the Jira ticket. You're like, yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
I've not got that.
I never had anything like that. Oh,
Yeah.
man, it drive me insane.
Yeah.
That would be like when people don't have like proper testing people on board, or like actual flows to do stuff, or like they're just like some guys just come in and he's like, yeah, I'm just in meetings all day. I haven't got time for screenshots. They're just like, snap, there you go, fix it. It's like,
well, like the effort involved. Yeah, the effort
No problem.
involved.
Just take another picture of something else, and there you go.
Take a photo of
It
it.
happens with me, like
Send
it
that
happens with me like all the time. Like every time, like whenever someone is sending something error or something kind of like debugging thing, they always post a pic too, and I just hate that. I don't know why people do this. Like just paid like how much time it would take to like click a photo then send, like then just copy pasting the text. That's much easy and like easier for me to read also, but no, they just want like pick the pic, send again, and then again, oh no, can you like send me the whole entire line? I think your like camera has like cut that part, so okay, I'll send you again. Then they again send, and say, okay, send me the next part.
But that's the point, Praveen. You know, can you solve the problem from a photo, not from actual code?
I can.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be.
I
Don't be.
can.
Yeah, you just send back the modified photo where it's fixed.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
blur the user not found.
That's actually
Yeah.
what you should do.
Right
Definitely,
to-
just send a Photoshop back. Well, it works on my machine, a photo, and that's it. Done. Got it
User
working.
Actually, I just did today. Like I'm working on a project, or like it's for like a contractor also. What I did, they said like it's not working on the developer version that like in our AWS where they saw deployed. So what I did, like I clicked the full screen in Chrome, hit the record button, did the all flow like signing, then email verification, all that stuff, and it sent like, hey, watch, it's working, it's perfectly fine. And they said, wow, it's working. And like I know there's a bug, but I'm not going to fix it, like because Fridays no work. What I did, I just totally make the screen, like whole screen flow process, like screencast for like I'm going here, clicking here, everything, and just say, look, there's something faulty in your side, like your cache might be not invalidated or something else. It's not my bug. So, and they say, okay, let's see what happens. But I know that there's an issue, the bug that I already know, that I have just, because a single ternary operator is not being like pushed in the code. That's my issue. But I don't want to do the work on production day, like on Fridays. That's the worst part. I don't want to screw my
Friday's
whole
the best
weekend.
day for it. No, Friday's the best day for it.
Works for you, man.
Keep busy over the
I won't
weekend.
do that.
Yeah.
I
Then you
won't do
have the entire weekend to fix it. What's
Yeah, what's the problem? You're fixing code in my Discord, so like, what's the difference?
that issue, like I'm not like I can whenever time I can, like,
His
say-
work should just post it in my Discord and it would be solved. Just put the Jira tickets into the Discord channel of code questions. Hey, Praveen, how do you fix this thing?
Like let's invert a binary tree right now. Let's see how many you can do it right now.
Yeah, we'll get a Jira board inside the Codú community.
Yeah.
No, I think people are actually seriously asking questions.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Never.
What do you guys think of Friday deployments?
Good
Oh,
enough
man.
for Elon. Good enough for Elon.
They're good enough for Elon. Yeah, exactly. They're good enough for, I guess, Dogecoin. They're good enough
Yeah.
for...
Well, I mean, he's put a space rocket out on a Friday. I mean,
Exactly.
it worked pretty well for him.
Yeah.
Did you see the photos of that, by the way?
No. Let's have a look.
Wow. It looks incredible. I didn't watch the video, but wow. Like, they must have planned that really well. Because when the... I can't remember what the technical term for it is, but the piece that returns to Earth, like when it falls down, they timed it so like when the sun rose, like it hit it and it like made this like crazy image. It looks ridiculous.
Nice.
It looks like something out of a film.
I think just the fact that they are now able to retrieve that back. Like I think SpaceX was the first company who was able to do that. It is like it's ridiculous. Like it is beautiful what they're doing there.
Is that this? I don't know. Hold on. Let me get to. Let's share this. Let's share some.
It was
stuff.
today, so it will be like any news thing. Yeah, that's not a good picture. Let me find. There's one where it's like you can see a stream of like the rocket going, and then another bit, and it's just like it looks like a crazy big like, like a big blue like circle. It looks ridiculous.
Phenomenal. If you have and on a serious note though, I think in most companies I've been, that Friday deployments were kind of an okay. If you have good DevOps, it's usually fine because it's just like, oh, that failed, roll it back. So it's not usually a huge deal, to be fair. Anywhere I've been, really.
Yeah, and
but like if you are having your own plans, for weekend, then it's not a good.
No, but like if the DevOps is there, it's just a case of saying, "Hey, right, this should do this thing. Hey, it doesn't do this thing. Let's roll it back to when it didn't do that thing then, and then we'll fix it on Monday." Is the process is there for daily deployments? It makes no difference because you'd be used to a rollback clause anyway.
Yeah, and like you don't even need to go that far, right? Like there's this deployment process called blue-green deployment, right? Where you deploy in, let's say you have an active zone, and you make one of the zones passive, you deploy there, you test if everything is going well. If it's not, and you just decide that, okay, you don't need to make that available to the public right now. We'll fix it, when we have the time for it. Until then, you can leave that zone as is. So it is deployed, it is broken, but nobody needs to fix it right now. So that's the whole.
Just take a part of traffic, like 10% part of traffic, and route it to the
So you don't even do that, right? Because what happens in blue-green deployment is you take, it is basically, how to explain this better? You have, two zones. Let's assume, you have two stacks, and active stack, okay? Your traffic is going to both the stacks right now. Now, what you'd really do is you take one of the stacks, take this offline, and deploy it over there. And now you test everything. You make it available privately, within your network, and let's say your testers can access it. Yeah, and then if you think everything is working well, that's great. If it's not, then you always have your other active zone available.
Okay, got it.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal pictures here.
Yeah, it's like
beautiful.
They're amazing.
This man is sending cars in rocket space. So
that last one
just
looks like something out of like, I don't know, it just reminds me of Portal.
Well, this is an ESL promotional rocket.
So that's where all the money went.
Yeah, you see, and you thought they were wasting money when really it was for this rocket all along.
Yep.
Just for that shot.
Yeah,
how annoyed would you be if your camera broke?
Oh yeah, it's so cool though. It looks amazing.
Yeah, the battery died.
This one looks great.
That last one's cool.
Incredible.
Yeah, beautiful. It's really amazing kind of tech we're doing. I just love the kind of philosophies that are going around to like how he got there, where it was just like, wait a minute, has anyone actually tried to rebuild a rocket from scratch? Are we doing it the right way?
Yeah.
I'm reading a great book on mental models at the moment, and it kind of goes over that. It's like the map isn't always correct. As in, like, you have instructions how to do something. That doesn't always mean it's the best or the right way. It will get you to the same place. But is it, don't be afraid to explore new routes, I guess, is the general rule of thumb on that. It is.
Will this be the first book that I buy on your recommendation?
Great mental models. So this is general thinking concepts. So just mental models for how to break down problems.
How thick?
It's not that thick.
Oh yeah, that looks bearable.
It's good. Like it's, and you'll love it. Hold on, you'll love the size. You'll love the width of the text. They've done it like blogs style.
Is it all just really big font?
No,
Is it all like that size font?
They use that Tailwind stuff. You see all that white space for notes. The white space for notes.
Love that.
It's serious. So yeah, I got this one, which is general thinking concepts, and then I got another one which is science thinking concepts, and it just brings up, like it builds up like a mental image of how things work, so that you're able to kind of dissect things. So one of the first things they bring up in it is like, what? I have to read it now. I always forgot. Hold on. Let's see.
Before you do that, can you just change the title of the YouTube to Story Time with Niall?
The map is not the territory.
It will go well with the design of everyday things.
If you just put a fake fireplace on in the background or something.
With the sound.
Yeah, just put the fireplace on. That way it looks like I know what I'm doing, I guess.
Get some cognac.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, I can't do cognac. When I was like 14, I think, I drank a bottle of cognac, and I still haven't been able to drink cognac since. So I had it with apple juice with my brother when I was 14.
Maybe it was just bad apple juice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
It was definitely not the whole bottle of Hennessy. Not the whole bottle of Hennessy.
No.
But yeah, the great mental models, fantastic. If you're like, it's what I like books like that, or mental models in general. It's just an interesting concept of, instead of just being given general ways to break down problems, not in a programmatic way for once. It's more of a general rule of thumb, like as in you could apply it to science, business, programming, to ask certain questions about a situation, to be more aware of the situations you're in. And the reason I got into it and what came up from those rocket pictures is I seen an interview with Elon Musk, and he said how he makes competent decisions around such different businesses is he learned a lot of mental models off, which helped him break down a problem or at least ask the right questions. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and start buying loads of these books and studying it and reading articles and looking up all these things. And this seems to be the best one out there for the general stuff, from the very few minutes of research I've done. So,
I don't know, like it's a coincidence. So like all these books that you buy like have great covers, or just you buy books only that have like great covers?
Yeah, so Tej tagged me in this the other day. I think it was, there's a big difference between buying books and reading books. I definitely buy a lot of books.
I just got 2 books. Like one of them was Java, and my laptop died just by seeing it. So I'm not going to buy a book at all.
Understandable.
Sure.
Just get a marker and write script after it, and maybe you'll fool it.
So I threw that away, and I just bought a like Python book, and it got like booted up very similarly, just like a small binary issue.
Yeah, every code should start with import library, and then everything will be done for you through the library.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do anything more than
code.
Just import.
Forget everything you've learned before this book.
Import this library for that's what the book should be. Why don't they just make a library out of the book? Then they wouldn't have to teach you anything.
Exactly.
Done.
That sounds
big book of
feasible.
Python libraries.
Would that work for
Interesting.
your mental models?
And then books on every single library.
Yeah. Can I make a mental models function? Just call this function on this situation, and done.
It'll return true or
if
false as to
problem,
whether you're thinking
run
about this the
mental
right way.
I'll just say it just returns true.
Yeah. The only true.
Yeah. But
The way you're thinking about this is definitely the best way to go. No question.
It'll just be a function saying, is there a mental model to apply to this situation? Yes. That's it.
Yeah, and if not, create a new mental model.
Yeah. No, I've gone on a big buying spree of books recently. So I have that, and I have the Art of Doing Science and Engineering by Stripe Press that I got there recently as well. Really cool cover on that one. That one was definitely more bought because of the cover than...
One question to that. Have you read the book Form Design Patterns?
Design patterns.
Form Design Patterns. By
The one
Adam
that I got
Strauss.
you to get.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually halfway through it. I haven't read it all. Because I don't read books all the way through usually. I usually pick up, like, I'm reading 3 books at the moment. So I pick up whatever I feel like reading whenever I want. I don't do it as a chore.
Actually, that's all the reading. Like we don't read a whole book. Like we don't have a whole life spent to read all the books. Yeah.
Well,
No, but it's
I
all-
just mention a book and then Niall buys it and doesn't read it.
Yeah, that's why that's the point that I asked. Like,
No,
is he
I-
even
I-
like
the
reading?
Yeah, the last 3 books you recommended had nothing to do with your beard at all. At all. I was so disappointed. I thought I asked him about his beard advice, and then he gives me form design patterns. I don't understand. What was I meant to get out of this?
Hey, Bandido.
The form design patterns is very interesting. I was shocked when the physical copy came at how thick it was. Especially because it's 10 forms. Like that's like it's not even like a general rule guide. It goes pretty much through a set of forms to give you kind of situational use cases. So it's a very I was shocked with the sheer volume of content for very situational advice, which is really cool because usually it's like here.
Do you find that it's very good in the sense that it pretty much covers everything you could think of? Like from very basic to can't remember what the last one is. Is it like a booking site thing or like a ticket thing? But like it starts with like the very basic things, like a sign-in form, isn't it? I think it starts with, and then the only thing that's kind of funny is like it. I don't know if you found it as well in like the start. It's like, right, so there's a bit of JavaScript, and we're going to be using jQuery, and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't used jQuery for years. Available in 12 now. I'm available for sponsorship.
Just place your product here.
Yeah, form design patterns is a pretty interesting one. But again, like I just depends what way I'm feeling. It also depends. Like I could be in the middle of reading a book, and then another book will arrive at my door, and I'll be like, that book doesn't exist anymore. Now I have this new book. So it's, I think in the last, especially last 2 weeks, I think I was terrible and bought like, I think it was about 12 books. So yeah, I think I have no choice but to try and pick up all of them at once and read them.
Yeah, rotate on each page. You finish this page, move on to the next book, read a page, on to the next one.
And I wouldn't mind. My only New Year's resolution was to read less books. And I mean that like I sincerely, like it wasn't like a thing because I was like, I just end up reading and not like remembering the stuff inside these books, you know, where you're like, oh, this is a lot of information. You get through it and you go, what happened to that? Like, just like as an example, I couldn't come up with that first concept's name in that book, you know? So like, it's because I'm reading multiple things. So that was my New Year's resolution, was to read less books because I think it would be more effective than having stacks of like saying, yes, I read it, but I don't know what to do with it.
I tend to, even though I have I don't anymore, but I used to buy the hard copies that came with the ebook and then I just use it on the Kindle. But most of the time I just get the Kindle version now and then just use like the highlighter or like the note taker because you can export it as Markdown, I think, or PDF. And then you can just have your notes from the book.
Nice.
That's the one.
Yeah, sir.
That
I
sounds
tend to buy both.
That sounds like a very good system, Jay. Niall would not adopt it.
No.
Niall has his own like small diary, I think. Like he wrote everything in there, from his password, bank details, everything. To his notes also.
Yeah, I lost that, so I got a password manager. So because I lost my notebook with all my passwords in it, I decided I would get a password manager. That was the thing that pushed me over the edge.
When you're like saying in public, like I wrote all my stuff on this notebook. Like everyone is going to be like chasing behind that notebook, particular notebook. Like I want to get it. Who don't want to get free money?
No, but it's useless because it's illegible. I have the worst handwriting ever.
I was actually writing something here for the first time in a long time the other day and realized just how bad my fucking handwriting is. It's like I haven't actually written anything with a pen in over a year that isn't my name, and it's just gone to shit.
Like I'm giving my online papers. I don't know if you can even like see what I just have scribbled all the things. just crosses after solving all the questions. Just crosses.
I don't know
I
if
have, I have a
Niall.
little,
Yeah.
I have a little homemade one.
I don't know if Niall's actually opened
Animated.
it, but I actually have like a.
It has really like company seal.
Oh,
on
wow,
it.
that's the most organized notebook I ever saw.
I bought another thing I bought because Jay got it and I was jealous. Where is it? Oh, it's over here.
It's at the
I
bottom
got
of this
something.
cupboard where I don't use it.
Yeah, this is something that it is
really
very cool. I just need to set it up to use it right. Like I haven't just read the instructions. There's a lot of instructions for this. Okay, it's a notebook with instructions, but it's pretty hefty.
But because
Yeah,
you read
yeah.
one page at a time, it will, take you a couple of years.
Well, it's a 6 month. It's got 6 months of space, and it's like each day is like you write down what you're going to do for the day, and then it's got like a time like slot. So like, well, yeah, there you go. It's just kind of like a timeline, goals, wins, how much water you drink, and then there's like Gantt charts and stuff at the back, so you can like do project planning and things. So like mine's pretty boring. Like it'll be things.
Don't
like
say Gantt charts here today, at least.
charts.
I had my Gantt charts. I had my like operating system Viva today, and my teacher just no. He just like screwed me. Like draw the Gantt chart for having 3 processes using like 3 resources at a time, and like there's no condition for deadlock. I was saying what?
I tell you
No.
what,
I'm lost, Praveen. I don't know what you said in the sense of
Even I was lost. Like Jay said Gantt chart. So in operating system, there is a concept of Gantt charts in process management.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, this is
Alright.
stuff that
I think it's a
yeah,
different Gantt chart.
yeah.
So like my Viva was like from like here, it just fall there. I said okay, no issues. I can manage that. So it's tough to study. You have to agree.
They should
Yeah,
consider
no thanks.
They should consider asking you questions on the Discord chat. You will probably have answers there.
I might have the answers, like literally. I just hate like studying like the things that I'm not going to use. Sometimes I feel like what I'm studying, what I have to do for the process synchronization.
Well, so far in 3.5 years of college, doing the 4th year still, I don't think that I've used anything yet. And most of the stuff I've learned was through YouTube, GitHub, Stack Overflow, Udemy, anything but college.
We've
Yeah,
discussed this, Jay, before, haven't we? About like, is college useful? And it's only only reason I think it is useful is because I've dropped out of college after 1 year, but I didn't realize how useful some of the knowledge I got was until I had to explain a concept to somebody who didn't go to college at all, where like you kind of jump straight up and say like, oh, this does this, but it never explains why this does this. And the why doesn't come up that often practically, but because you understand the why, you're able to translate from language to language very quickly without actually really thinking about it. It becomes second nature. So even though like the fundamentals aren't that practical or they won't get you paid, the problem is, or I guess the good part is that you actually have a skill set that works in every language rather than just one.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a famous debate, right? Like, what do people, is it worth your time and money? And like, I always think it is, it might not be useful right away. I don't think, like you learn anything which is, you don't learn JavaScript, Java, or any of that, you don't build applications while you're in college. But like, there are, there are things there that, that are really helpful. Like I personally, I didn't do computer science, I did mechanical engineering, but then I know that the mathematics was very, very handy. It, it kind of helped me. It even helps me now build logic very easily. The mathematics and, I think that's helpful for sure.
Yeah, well, maybe it was just in my experience that all we were doing is trying to follow the lecturer would type in the code quite fast, and we would try to type it at the same kind of pace, just copying the code without really understanding what is going on.
I think that's why it's such a hotly debated topic / very subjective, though, because people, like every college, like when you go to university to do computer science, it's not the same. Like, so I went to King's to do mine, but someone went to Bristol, or like it'll be completely different. Like every college kind of teaches it differently, so everyone does different things, and that's something that always gets blown out of context. So like for mine, I did like Java and I did a lot of like low level stuff, but then we actually made a lot of things as well. Like one of my projects was to make a web browser in like, I think that was in year 2. So like, you're learning like actual things. And then when I did like, I did a master's as well, and I did financial engineering, and like that was a lot of practical, like hands-on stuff as well. But then you'll find people that like they never do anything or don't do any like projects because the course didn't dictate it, or it was just like textbook stuff. So I think it's really hard to people to go, oh, you should or you shouldn't, because it really depends on where you go or what you do.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like at the part, like where in the world like are you like studying it? And here it's a lot of whole different scenario. And in like the Ivy League colleges that you mentioned, it's whole different thing. I agree with you. Like literally, like if I'm paying like $4,000 a year for college fees, and like literally I'm sitting for 1 year doing online classes, I can like pay for a Udemy course for like $10 and get the same thing.
I'm also terrible. I'm a terrible advertisement though, because I just can't sit and listen to people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
where, like all of my like, and I've had this in talks before. Like, I wouldn't want to pay for a university degree now, but like when I went to university, I found that I struggled a lot when I went. My learning style was like, so for me, like I struggled when I went, so I stopped going and I just sort of chilled out in dorms and hit the skate park when I wanted and stuff. But what I do is I get all my notes way in advance, learn it all in advance, and I'd be like weeks ahead of my classmates. And then when I found something I was struggling on, then I'd go in. So I guess it kind of like taught me, if I hadn't have gone, I wouldn't have found out that that's how I deal with stuff, I guess, which is like very invaluable to like how I go about my daily now. So
yeah,
I think it's
one
good.
of the best things from college is it kind of teaches you how to think through a problem.
Yeah,
It's very good at that. Thinking logically and breaking the problem down, and that's, you know, you can learn that yourself, but it will take longer, I think, than going through college. It's very good at kind of forcing you to do it so that you learn it, and that's the main thing I think you get out of it, is just knowing how to build, how to solve a problem.
I think
approach it.
Depending on like how you go about it as well. If you go somewhere where you've got to go somewhere else, like, so obviously I moved out, went and lived somewhere else. Like, it's not just learning, you're getting like a life skill. Like, I know a lot of people go, oh, I'm going on a gap year or whatever. Like, it's similar, right? You're going to learn about who you are, what ticks for you. Just in this case, it's in a learning environment. So for me, it's like, I struggle to sit and listen to people for a long time. Like, I'm better off just digging in and solving it myself, and then I'll regurgitate that to others, I guess. But like, everyone's different, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's,
I don't know, but
beyond.
I enjoy the hostel life, and in like what the hostel life part of the college is the best part for me. Like, we got like 100 of new people, like enjoy, do stuff, different stuff, because we are like having people to like brainstorm with on ideas. Like, that's the best part that I like. It's give you a lot, because they're like collective people with same mindset. Okay, so you can
they're in the same
talk to
place
them
as
on
you.
different
They're
stuff.
same problems.
So that's the best part that I have. Like, that's the
I
best
found that hard when I was
like,
teaching myself.
Yeah.
Definitely, that was the hardest part for teaching myself. Was just I had nobody in the developer space around me, so I had no idea whether I was doing it right or wrong. Like, I just had no idea. So like, I was just on my own, hoping that these online sites that I found and the things I was doing on Code Academy or whatever else were like actually the skills I needed, and that I had made the correct Google searches to make myself employable. Like, and there's a big gamble when you have nobody to sanity check these things, you know, and say, hey, is this what I should do? And like that's, I think more than anything, at least gives you some structure on your day and at least a syllabus to follow, and you'll be in a place where you'll have some sort of competence at the end of it, hopefully, if you keep up with it. But then again, having the camaraderie of having the team of people around you that are struggling with the exact same problem. So when you're having a bad day, you can just say, hey, am I dumb, or are you also struggling with this? Because I feel like development especially is just like a constant cycle of just like, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. And then you solve it and you go, oh, I'm a genius. And then it continues in that cycle over and over again.
Yeah, like for me, yeah, go ahead, Tej.
Yeah, I think it's pretty spot on, right? Like never in your career you get this time to sit back and think about what's your way of learning, or just become a little more self-aware. But I think college gives you a lot of that time and experience where you learn what's your style of learning, or what is what fits you best, or even like you said, just hanging out with like-minded people having the same problems. It gives you a little more perspective. And I think once you start working, you're actually just moving at such you like things are going so fast that you don't really have the choice to take a step back and think about these things. So I think overall I kind of appreciate that experience in my life as well, just going to college.
And like there is like in this whole scenario, like there is a one case, like when you are the once you get at the top, then you have to stay at the top, so once you are the best like in the whole class, then you have to stay, so you have to work hard to stay there. Okay, so I got like 52% marks in my like mathematics, and I had the highest marks in my entire district in my board exam in computer science. So that was the difference. Like I have to like go to school early in the morning to teach others what the teacher is going to like explain them in the lecture part. So I have like the school was 7:20. I was in the school at 6:10 in the morning, and I was just taking classes from my 11th standard for like C++ stuff. So I like my friends come over like early to like study C++ for me, and like, so why I'm like getting really easy to like solve the doubts, because I am doing this since my 11th standard. So I am like doing just helping others from like 5 to 6 years been just helping others in debugging code. Like someone asked, yeah, sure. I don't remember I ever have said that no, I cannot solve this right. I don't have time for doing your work. So it's been like 5 years I haven't said no to anyone like for a code help. If someone sends a snapshot image, it's still then I can say, yeah, let's do that. But so
you'll learn.
That's the part,
life hasn't beaten you down enough yet. You'll learn to be like, no. This is like, what is this? It comes to experience and time as well, because right now it is in your best interest to solve absolutely every problem possible, in every way possible, because that all adds to your experience, and then you ultimately become a much better developer. But like at a certain point, it's also like, I don't have the time to do this because I have, to solve my problems, So that's the trade-off, because it is because you, and it's a tough switch to turn, I think, as well, is to be able to say no to some people, especially when you're in a position where you're used to helping people and always saying yes. It's like, oh, am I being a dick to this one person, by saying no, when in reality it's just time. Yeah. Yeah, it feels so good. It's like, yes, now I'm addicted to it. So everyone gets a no. You get a no. Yeah. You get a no. Everyone gets a no.
Yeah.
No party.
Yeah, it's important to say no.
Yeah.
It's a hard skill to learn, because it's much easier to just agree to everything and then end up in cluttered with everything except for the stuff that you actually need. Yeah, and saying no is something that might be hard to say at the very start.
It's also about being a little bit selfish as well. You have to be a little bit, or else not everyone has your best interest in mind. That's the other thing. I love the way the 750 Ti has failed again.
There you go. Time to start shopping for, a more expensive car.
Yeah. Jeez.
I think Tej has the best card in the market.
By looks of things, I think so. I think I got to call the stream of quits here because I'm getting hungry and I'm out of beer, so I'm going to get cranky then.
Yeah, time to order that 190 euro mushrooms on a pizza.
Yeah, 190 euro mushrooms coming to my house. It's going to be great. How disappointed would you be if you ordered that and you're like, this is all I got. There's like 4 mushrooms on my pizza.
Yeah.
It's like getting charged like $50 for 2 bananas.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, that's it. You should order them, Colin, just to see what they're like.
Yeah,
let us know.
They must be
Those are magic mushrooms.
Yeah, maybe. You see, you just don't know. It could open your mind, those mushrooms. You never know.
Yeah.
Tej
Awesome.
is back. You're alive again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just going to buy a new graphics card for you. Like, the best.
Yeah, we're going to start a GoFundMe.
Take out from the ESL fund and send some towards your
I
way.
think I could do with that now. And while you are at it, can I just get a new PC, not just a graphics card now? I don't know what to do, really.
I'm totally open to, like, if you send me a whole PC or anything. I'm totally open to getting gifts. Yeah, I'm like
Send it for
getting a
me,
new
we'll fix
PC.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just send over a PC, yeah, I'll fix it, and it.
And what happens after that, happens.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, you don't want a PC. If Tej is buying the PC, I might not want it. It's all right.
Told you, it comes from Praveen's company. He's a hustler.
Just let me know, Jay, if you want a PC. I like.
I can't wait to get that 750. I mean, 390. 390.
Yeah.
30. That's what it is, isn't it? It's a 390. It's not even a 30.
It's not 3090. You forgot a 0. This is like the on-site validation again. You typed in 3090 and it shorted it. It cut out the 0 for you. Right, lads. I'm going to call it quits here.
3090.
Cool.
3090. All right, lads.
I think
it was great.
Tejan said we should have a talk on how to come to there.
No, okay, so
everyone had nearly forgot about his illegal comments that he made earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why you got demonetized. By the
We'll
way.
just get you over
Right,
here. You
yeah,
can WeTransfer. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
If I